All right, we know that if this plan goes through, every location will get more. It will come in different ways, but they will be getting more than they were getting last year.
Okay. So you're saying not necessarily through foundation aid, but they may be getting a gap elimination adjustment. They'll be getting
That's
some
right.
type of
In other words,
increase.
one or the other they'll get more.
Okay. And then just there's a couple other pools of money. I see there's the community schools money that the governor had proposed, and the Assembly majority is adding money to that. Is there any breakdown of how that money will be divided?
No, it's $100 million and additional. We put $100 million to for a total of $200 million for the community schools.
Okay.
We doubled it.
Okay, and then just the last one I wanted to ask about was there's a pool of I believe it's $10 million for schools to deal with English language learners. Is there?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
English language learners. There's a pool of money for schools that are dealing with increases in population. Would any school district that is dealing with an increase in that population get some sort of funding from this?
Yeah, 100. We added additional of $10 million. The Commissioner of Education will determine the distribution based on where the need is, and then we put in $10 million in grants for school districts with growing English learning population problems.
Okay. Thank you. I just have another question. This one is in the healthcare side of things. The governor had a proposal in the executive budget dealing with management for transportation services for adult day health care and people that are, I guess, on Medicaid managed care plans. Does the Assembly accept that proposal?
No. Where's the paper?
Are there changes being made to it?
Mm-hmm. Which one was that? Yeah, that was $22.6 million, including various proposals to centralize transportation. We took that out.
Okay, what I'm talking about is the Medicaid transportation. The proposal was to remove Medicaid transportation reimbursement from managed long-term care to fee-for-service management. This is rejecting that or accepting that proposal?
We're rejecting it.
Okay, that was not my understanding, but then could you tell me then, I know there was part of the concern with this was that these entities would use, local transportation, and it's kind of shifting that they're going to have to use, certain transportation brokers to provide this service. They would not be required to do that then under this proposal?
Yeah, hold on a minute. Why is that in the left? That's not in the left. We're going to do it, but it says it's in. But this says it's in, not out. Oh, that's what it is. It's a change. Okay. Yeah, a little problem here. What happened is the governor came up with a plan to change the old plan. So what we're doing is putting back the old plan in place. So we're going to continue as it was, not the way he wants to do it.
Okay, and my last question in that regard then, one of the concerns that, advocates and people that work with, the adult day health care were concerned that under this proposal that the governor had put forth, there would no longer be reimbursement for matrons, people who would ride this transportation with some of our, disabled and developmentally disabled populations, and they provide some familiarity, make sure they get where they need to be going and get back home safely. So under this proposal, would the matron still be able to be eligible for?
Yes, because we're leaving it as
reimbursement?
it was. You follow, we're going to leave it
So-
as it was. We're not putting it in as he wants it to
Okay.
be.
So if the matrons were previously reimbursable, they will continue to be so under your proposal?
Yes,
Okay. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Mr. Rea.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the chairman yield for a few questions?
Yes, I will.
The chairman yields.
Can we negotiate how many few is few?
Just like 7.
Okay,
Well,
that's good.
we'll do rapid fire. How's that?
Good. Yes,
First off, Denny, what's the total spending for Medicaid in the one house?
200 in Medicaid. Good paper on it. For all funds, Medicaid expenditures are projected to be a total of $65.8 billion, an increase of $453 million, or 0.7 from 2015-16.
And that's the same number as the governor's proposed?
Yes,
All right, 'cause I'm just curious because it may be the same number that the governor proposed, but it would seem that the assembly's adding a whole lot more money to different programs than where's the money coming from? In other words, something has to be, you have to be cutting somewhere in order to increase the funding for a whole lot of new programs that you're creating in this.
yeah, we are. I mean, we're shifting. We've added a certain amount of money, expenditures, but we've matched it in, and it's in the book on your desk. You'll see it.
Gotcha.
You'll have the page. Will show you how we got it balanced.
Okay. There was an insurance company called Health Republic that was part of the health exchanges that collapsed last fall. Left roughly $200 million in outstanding expenses for hospitals, doctors, a whole slew of healthcare professionals that have been literally hung out to dry on that money. The state insurance fund, the Department of Financial Services certainly saw it coming. But is there anything in this budget that makes everyone in the healthcare community that lost some of that $200 million whole?
So the financial people are going to look at what people lost, and then they'll see what has to be restored.
So that'll be
So
part
there is a discussion going on.
for the
to
final
try-
budget. All right,
Yeah.
so there's no actual language in this budget, but it's a topic for conversation.
Yes, it is in our resolution. We discuss it.
Well, you mentioned that. It's
We mention it.
right. Okay.
That's a discussion.
Thank you, Denny. I kind of sound like a broken record on this one, but the old expression, fool me once, how that goes. Let's talk about the entertainment industry health insurance demonstration program. We do this dance every year. We started talking about it before there were health exchanges, and I had asked why there was a carve-out in the budget for folks that are in the entertainment industry, and I think 3 or 4 years ago, we talked about, you had mentioned the fact that, well, that industry is very transient in nature, so we were kind of giving them a bridge. Then we have the health insurance exchanges, which were specifically designed to help people that are in transient jobs. Once you have insurance, you can keep it, and you can take it from job to job to job. And last year, you told me that would be the last year that we'd see this, but lo and behold, it's back.
As they say, never mind.
Is there a reason why they can't participate? Our exchanges are actually better than most other states, which is saying a little not saying a lot, but we do have a fairly good program compared to the rest of the country. Why can't they participate like every other person that has to go out and shop around for insurance?
It was the same reason I told you 7 years ago is still true. They move around and travel.
But that's exactly the fact that their transient nature is the very reason why our healthcare exchanges have been set up, because that insurance then becomes portable, that you can take it from job to job to job.
Yeah. Well, the Assembly extended the entertainment workers program for 1 additional year, and there are still individuals in this program, and it is necessary to provide them with insurance coverage until they can enroll in a health exchange. Maybe as time goes along, they'll be able to do that. The $250,000 is included by the executive is sufficient to support current enrollment. So we just have to make sure everybody is gotten off of it.
Okay.
And then when they get off. So next year, I'll remember to come back with a better answer.
To be continued. Well, I look forward to it, Denny. 2 more questions for you. I know you had an exchange with the ranking member on the Ways and Means Committee with respects to the minimum wage impact on health care, particularly hospitals, nursing homes, home care agencies, and providers that provide services for the developmentally disabled. I'm sorry, what was that number that you threw out there for the anticipated cost for the first year?
We put in $200 million appropriation so that we'll be able to help where that hits.
And that's just for 2016-17?
Yes.
Because I'm a little confused. As the ranking member on the Health Committee, I've met with many agencies, and actually the hospital folks, the nursing home folks, and the home care agencies have joined together and have put out a study, and they're actually estimating that their first year costs, including compression, are going to be $379 million. And that doesn't include the developmentally disabled folks that also are, the number is staggering. So I'm just curious as to how you came up with that estimate.
Compression. Well, what they're saying, they have this term they call compression, and they say that what will happen is it's not going to, if some people are 13 because you're going to kick it up slowly over 5 years, I think.
I gave
So
that one to you, Denny.
some are there, some are not. So it's going to move up. It's not going to be the same amount when you're finished than when it begins, because you'll be going up slowly, and so the people who are the lowest will go up to the first, whereas somebody who's making 14 will only go to 15, so they come in later. So 200 million we think is safe.
Okay. I should have left out the compression part, but that's okay.
I like the term compression.
The quick question on retail health clinics. And I know the governor put forth a proposal, and then the Assembly puts forth their own proposal. Can you tell me what the differences are?
We did not what? We did not do that. Well, the Assembly rejected some of the executive's proposals on limited service clinics, which included new language to authorize the establishment of retail clinics and specify the treatments that may be provided, required the Commission of Health to issue regulations for retail clinics, including regulations to strengthen access to primary care, required DOH to provide an annual report on retail clinics, and prohibited host business entities from influence clinical decisions. Does that answer your question?
Well, yeah, actually, it was the last part that you were cluing that caught my ear. Who can own a retail health clinic? So, in other words, can a corporation own it? Can a corporation can own it?
You can't own it.
A corporation that has shareholders can't own it.
Licensed professional doctors, I gather.
So literally, you're just codifying what you already have now, where say a pharmacy rents space to a doctor, and then they're allowed to put up a sign calling it the name of that pharmacy, but really the doctor is separate from.
Yes.
Okay, so that is quite different from what the governor is proposing. Are hospitals allowed to participate in that program?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Are hospitals allowed to participate in such a contractual arrangement?
No, they're not a retail clinic, we think.
No, but I mean, if a hospital wanted to partner with a pharmacy, they couldn't do it either then?
That's interesting because there used to be one many years in Colombia. Yeah. It is. They can do it now using Article 28. They could do it because as you say, my hospital used to have one. They don't do it anymore. But
Yeah, well, those tend to be, the dock in the box, a standalone building. But all right, so I mean, what is the feeling? Why are we not allowing corporations to open up these types of businesses? They're actually, it's my understanding, would be more stringent than those standalone facilities if the governor's proposal was allowed to go through.
Yeah, I really can't, answer that question. That's a decision made many years ago, and I wasn't there.
Okay. My last question, Denny. How much do we have in the Assembly One House for smoking cessation programs? What's the dollar amount?
What's the dollar amount? How much? 30 million approximately.
30 million. Can you tell me as a percentage, that 30 million is a percentage of how much we have with respects to the tax that we collect on tobacco products, as well as the settlement revenue that we get?
Say that again.
Well, in other words, you said there's 30 million.
Yeah.
How much is that? What's the percentage of that 30 million compared to the total monies that we get from the tobacco tax and the settlement revenues? So I guess maybe the question should be, how much do we collect in tobacco tax and settlements?
We get 254 million from the tobacco tax, dropping quickly.
That's just the tax, not the tobacco settlement money, right?
No, that's just the taxes. I thought that's.
So we're only spending 30 million of all that money that comes in on tobacco cessation programs. Where does the rest of the money go?
Into health programs, the taxes, the things we're doing here, the hospitals. That's where the money goes.
But not to smoking cessation programs, which is what the money should be used for. Denny, once again, I appreciate your honesty, your openness, and your candor, and I look forward to the dance next year.
Thank you.
Mr. Crouch.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If Chairman would continue to yield, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, yes.
Chairman yields.
Thank you, Denny. I'll be relatively brief. Don't intend to use my 15 minutes. But on the agriculture piece, has the proposal to move marketing orders to the Empire State Development?
I'm sorry, say that again.
The governor proposed to move milk marketing orders issues to Empire State Development. Well, not just milk marketing orders, but other There's a couple other ones we have in the state. But his proposal was to move it over to Empire State Development. And this budget basically has rejected it.
Yeah.
Has it spurred the conversation, started the conversation to think about what Empire State Development might be able to do for the agricultural industry?
Say that again. Yeah, NCC. Yeah, but-
He's using it for 15 minutes.
Yeah, we changed the direction he did it, and we move it into the ag and markets, and said that they should put it out through there, and do the same what you want done there. So we're not doing what he wanted us to do, but we're putting it back in.
It's in ag and markets now, am I correct?
Yes, and we're leaving it there then.
So we're leaving it there.
We don't want to take it out.
Okay. How about, are you confident this proposal does enough to help upstate farmers?
Yes? Yes?
Okay. What's the difference between the consumer protections that the Public Service Commission offers and what's proposed as the new Office of the Consumer Advocate?
Okay, 500? It's 500 in the advocate office, but it's independent.
500 mil?
I'm sorry, $500,000.
500,000, okay.
$500,000.
But it's in, are they going to be doing something different than Public Service Commission?
They're independent, so that's their answer.
Are you saying the Public Service Commission is not independent?
This is independent.
Okay. What are some of the examples of projects that will be completed using the new climate change account? And will there be projects for stream bank maintenance or flood resiliency?
Anybody hear that? The Assembly's climate change action proposal directs DEC to create a plan to reach 100% renewable energy by 2030 and to provide $25.5 million from the EPF to implement this plan. Does that answer your question?
So there's nothing in there for future flood protection or stabilization of streams to try to help avoid some of the flooding issues we've had?
It's all part of the plan.
What's the status of the waste tire remediation statewide?
For which one? This. Oh, this is the waste tire. Is that what you just asked about?
Yeah.
Yeah, we extended it for 3 years.
Is there anything in this budget that would promote the recycling of waste tires and new products or anything like that that are made from recycled tires? Or this is just for cleanup at this point in time?
We have a recycling. And what else? Yeah. We have money for waste tire recycling.
We do have money in there for recycling.
Yes, we do have money in
there. Is
there.
that a promotional program? In other words, if I had an idea how to make a widget from a waste tire, could I get money to help develop my idea?
Would you repeat the question, please?
I'm wondering if there's money in there. I know we collect money from every tire that's sold. One of the things I've always looked for is the state being a leader on recycling of waste tires. But to my knowledge, we're really not doing it at this point in time. We're collecting the money, and it's being used for remediation of tire dumps, that's okay. But at some point in time, we ought to be looking to have a good, solid tire recycling program.
Yeah. Yeah. It's for remediation, you'd want us to use the money.
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking into that. I think, from what I've heard otherwise, a lot of these places are making mats with tires. In other words, there's a lot of things being done right now that people are buying the waste tires and building things out of it.
Right.
So that is being done.
Okay. All right.
They're not burning them.
Well, I think we need to do more to encourage that possibly, but
Yeah, but I think that the people who get the tires are the ones that'll probably sell them out.
just last question, anything special that's being done for sportsmen in this budget? This
I'm
proposal?
going to talk to you privately later on a different answer. But 2.5 million for outdoor people acting, getting outside and breathing better.
Any lowering of the hunting age or anything like that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Grouch.
Mr. Grant.
Will the chairman yield?
Yes, I will, Mr. Grant.
Chairman yields.
Thank you, Denny. Denny, on the pre-K, now there's $786.9 million going into the pre-K program, correct?
Pre-K. What's the pre-K? What? 807, which pre-K? Okay. 800, how much? Yeah, $807 million.
$807?
$807 million.
I thought it was going to be a really
$10.
small program for a minute. Now, 68% of the pre-K funding is going to New York City, correct?
I don't know that.
Can you ask your brain trust?
Yeah, they don't know.
Okay.
Never mind.
Sorry, Denny.
No, we don't really have the breakdown on that.
Okay. Now,
Because remember, the city puts money in on their money to do their pre-K. And as I try to remind people, remember we in Albany here have been voting on this for the last 17 years.
all right, well, the figure that I have is 68% is going to New York City, and the rest is getting divided up around the state. Does that sound plausible?
Yes, it could be, yes,
Okay,
because it's on a drawdown.
okay.
In other words, if upstate had more places, they would get more money. Because that's one of the problems. It's a lot of, you can't just bring in children into a classroom because you have to make smaller toilet bowls. There's a whole lot of things you have to do. So they're very slow in doing it.
Okay.
But once they do it, I think we will give them the money.
Did we add any money to make sure that all the schools get kindergartens?
Yes.
How much money did we add for that?
Yeah, we have money for 5 years for the kindergartens. We have money available for 5 years for the people we have with kindergartens now.
Okay, that's additional money, or is that money
Yes.
that's spending? Okay. Now,
That's future year money.
okay, now the criminal justice reform that we have in the budget. Now, what you've done here is you had the special prosecutor, and it was for deaths that the special prosecutor, which is the Attorney General's office,
Yes,
now he could take the case away from the local district attorney, correct?
yes.
And even though the local district attorney is going to prosecute the case, he can decide to step in and take the case over.
Yes,
Isn't that correct?
yes, right,
And they're separately elected officials, the DA.
yes.
So why are we subverting their authority? That's what they're elected to do. Why are we doing that?
Because sometimes the case is such that having somebody on home turf might be a problem, and maybe it would be better for someone stepping back. I think that's one of the reasons. In other words, not being negative to the person who's there, but by the problem or the type of problem, they may just decide to pull it out.
Okay. And now it's not only death, it's an injury. What kind of injuries are we talking about? Is it any injury that a person sustained? Because you realize sometimes people don't want to be handcuffed.
What's the beginning of the sentence?
What you have, conduct investigations into death and injuries of civilians that is caused by a police officer. Okay. Well, the death was the result of an injury.
Yes, as a result of a force. If force is brought on and there's an injury, then
All right.
deadly force.
All right. Now, the other part of this, we're talking about cameras in correctional facilities. A pilot program.
Yes.
Are we doing that right now?
Has it started? We're starting now, no.
And this is body cameras.
Yes.
And who controls the body cameras? Can the correction officers turn the body cameras on and off?
It's up to the doctor. Oh, it's up to Doc's department to make the decision.
Of who controls the cameras?
Yes.
Okay. And now, what will happen, some of these videos will be used for evidence, correct? That's what we're looking to do here?
Yes, it's possible.
And to keep the chain of custody, the corrections department are the ones that are going to have to hold on to the cameras, correct? Or the videos, correct?
Yes.
And do you have an estimate of how much that's going to cost
To keep the camera,
to store the video?
yeah.